Shalom. Before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach the Great Millstone Nashville Camp. Come back with a quick lesson. And I don't have a title for this lesson as of right now, but I got this video. Salakia. I got this video trying to move the bubble from, I don't even know what this is from. First post, all right? And it says vengeance. Well, one vengeance for all Iran's AI video target Statue of Liberty. And I mean, this is what's coming. You know, arrows shall fly. Babylon the Great will be destroyed, the daughter of Babylon, you know, where Esau Edom ruled, you know, the so-called white race. But of course, you know, you're going to have Israelites that are scattered in that nation. But, you know, when they take heed to the word, if it's for them, you know, predestination, they're going to come right back into the fold. They're going to call upon the names Yahweh, you know, say Bahashem, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai, you know, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. In the Hebrew, in Paleo Hebrew, his name is Yahweh Shai. It's not Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yeshua, Yehoshua. It's not none of that. Those are Yiddish. In the Paleo Hebrew, it ain't no O's, you know, no I's. It ain't none of that. So I don't want to get off topic. So this is from first post. Yeah, so I read the title. Slacky. Oh shit. And I'm sleepy. But anyway, so yeah, I read that. Now I'm gonna claim the copyright law. You know, this is fair use. Fair use act is what I claim. And it's fucked up, you gotta do that. But yeah, I claim, you know, fair use act. I'm using this for, you know, educational purposes. So anyway, we're gonna play this video, get some scriptures. You know, it ain't gonna be long. Just listen.
Liberty has long stood as a symbol of freedom. Now, it's at the center of a viral storm. A dramatic AI-generated video, which has been linked to Iran's state broadcaster, shows a missile striking the monument in New York Harbor. The clip ends with the line, "One vengeance for all." It looks real, but is completely fake. The clip also moves quickly through history, showing Native American dispossession, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Vietnam War, and even conflicts in West Asia. Iran's message is that the United States is a long-time aggressor. And as the video moves forward, it references Jeffrey.
Yeah, it said America has been a long-time aggressor, which the scriptures talk about Babylon being the hammer of the whole earth. You know, what does that mean? It's going to be a country that has, this major power, you know, and that can't be touched. And they go up to other countries and dictate what they do, overthrow them, you know, bring harm unto them. You know, this man has done that. America is the hammer of the whole earth, and she's about to be cut asunder. Let me see if I can find that. Jeremiah 50, I believe, 51, 50, something like that. Let's see. I can see him. You know what? Let's get this because you know what? I'm gonna let this play just a little bit more.
Epstein. A child is shown on Epstein's island, suggesting, without proof, that the Iran war was launched as a distraction from Donald Trump's previous friendship with the convicted child sex offender. The imagery also becomes even more provocative. The Statue of Liberty is altered, its head to replaced with Baal, a biblical figure which, in an Iranian context, is often linked to false idols. It holds the Talmud, central text in rabbinic Judaism. In fact, there are also shots of Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei and slain commander Qasem Soleimani looking towards the sky. The tone is clear: defiance and revenge. But this is not a one-off. It's part of a wider trend, a growing online meme war. Iran is changing how it communicates. It's moving away from formal speeches and leaning towards memes, AI videos, and pop culture. Many clips look like cartoons. Some resemble Lego-style animations. Others feel like children's shows, but experts say the messaging is serious.
The deepfakes portray a version of reality that seems genuine and often paint Iran as more successful in the conflict. Both are being shared widely among communities that are critical of the war and hungry for this messaging.
Other countries are also employing this strategy. China's CCTV aired an offbeat AI video on the Strait of Hormuz crisis. It showed martial arts cats representing Iran and an eagle-headed figure as the United States. Well, the US and Israel have also pushed viral AI content, including stylized military visuals. But Iran's approach stands out. It turns propaganda into content. Of course, it does not mean it's winning the real war. Battles are still decided on the ground and from the air. But online, narratives move fast. Even a fake AI video can shape how millions view the conflict in the real world. The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice.
All right, so let 3 minutes of that play. But anyway, going back to let me see if I Anyway, let's keep going back. Wish I can let it play in the background. But anyway, going into so that missile, right, was shot toward the Statue of Liberty and it fell. You know, and of course it was Molech, right? So, but missiles are going to hit Babylon the Great. You know, this place will be destroyed. And you know, Iran, that was real cute, you know, of you showing, you know, the heathen in Asia that's, you know, being put into this war. Well, if y'all didn't come up against the nation of Israel, it wouldn't happen. You know? And so this is for, you know, your punishment. And the real people that should have been on, you know, that video first when they're showing the different nations is really the nation of Israel. You know, you put the Native Americans, but, you know, if you got the so-called blacks and Latinos. But, of course, Native Americans, you know, that represents really the Gadites, the Aztecs, you know, Mexico, you know, the Issachar, Aztecs. But anyway, I ain't trying to do all that talking. So, getting sidetracked. So, Jeremiah 50, and we're going to bounce around. We're going to start right here. Let's see. For lo, I will raise great nation out of the north with the arrows. 14. Jeremiah 50:14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about all ye that bend the bow. Right? So we know that those are, you know, missiles. The bow, like the bow and arrow, you know, represents a missile. That's the best way to describe it, because what the prophet is seeing, you know, well, I can exactly say, you know, that he's out of space looking at the earth, you know, but I know that he's that the angel, like, well, not the angel, well, yeah, a vision, in the vision, he's like, you know, seeing these missiles being shot out of one country to another. You know, he see him being launched. That's like a man that's shooting a bow and arrow. That's the best way to describe it. And it looks like an arrow. It's pointy. You know, looks like exactly a bow and arrow. If you look up top from the missile silo, it looks like a bow and arrow. Or, my bad, it looks like a arrow. You know, it's plain and simple. It says, oh, lost my place. Yeah, it says, all ye put yourselves in array about her. No, Salak, put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. And so she, the Lady of Kingdoms, which I think says Isaiah 45 or 47, this is the Lady of Kingdoms, the Statue of Liberty, the Lady, you know, this is the Lady of Kingdoms. All right. And also Revelation, 17 and 18 talks about the judgment of this place that's getting ready to happen. It says, shoot against her round about. It says, she have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. Her foundations are fallen. You know, the policies, that's the infrastructure. You know, the different laws. It is broken up and fallen. That's what caused this place to go down. You know, is bad politics. Trump. You know, bad decision making. You know, running off your enemy, your allies. You know, starting, unfair wars, all that. Her infrastructure is gone. You know, it says. Actually, I don't want to read that. Give me 1 second. Let's go to 23 because I was talking about the hammer of the earth. It says, how is the hammer? It says Babylon becomes a desolation. So that's going to really be here. In America, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? You know, and this is like an amazement because at one time America had glory. 06, 05, 2000, 1990s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, especially the 50s. You know? So it's going to be an amazement when this place is destroyed. Oh, that untouchable city, you know, it got touched. This place is known as the village of the village of how's it goes in Ezekiel, unwalled village. You know, this place ain't got no protection around it. You know, anything can come over here and penetrate America and destroy this place. You know, ain't no AAA guns set up to defend the whole country. You dwell carelessly. Other nations ain't so. You know, they live right beside each other. They got borders. You know, military out. It says Salakia. All right. Give me let's get Jeremiah 50 and 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, a trap. They've been trapped in this war. This is the beginning of how they're gonna be destroyed. Because it's gonna be, via World War III when this place is destroyed. When the chip, which is the MOTB, the mark of the beast, the microchip, when it's implemented, the Lord's gonna send a swift judgment. And how I'm saying it sounds quick. You can live through the mark of the beast, the microchip being implemented, a year, 2 years, 6 months, 3 months. It's a certain time period. But the Lord gonna have this place destroyed. It's gonna be quick. But most likely, the Lord's speeding the time up. So just don't worry about how long you in there. Just pray that the Lord get you through it. All right. He'll make a way. You can't forget about the miracles. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. You weren't aware of your end. You wasn't aware of this of the trap that's set before you. You're in a war that you can't get out of. You have to win it. If you lose, you pull out. The dollar, the what they call it. Not the hegemon. Was it the hegemon? Yeah, you lose your hegemon. The hegemony. You be in the top power. It says, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. So Babylon, America, is caught because, you fought against the Lord. You fought against the Lord by taking his people also, Yeah. It says the Lord had opened his armory and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans, which is to destroy this place. Babylon the Great be destroyed, because the Lord said, I created the smith that bloweth the coals. Was it Isaiah 54? Was it Isaiah 54? Might be wrong. Oh, shit. Yep, it's right here. The water Yahweh Bashmasha. Isaiah 50. Did I say? Yeah, 54 and 16. It says, enemies shall not prosper. Let's see what they mean and got together. We're going to start at 16. Isaiah 54, 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and have created the waster to destroy. The smith that bloweth the coals, or your blacksmith that created the weapons back in the day. Today, they're your scientists that's building, or that built the IC, not the IC, what they call it, the atomic bombs. Yeah. And today you got ICBMs. Yeah, so you're gonna be destroyed because you're striven against the Lord. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm in the wrong chapter. Let's see. We're gonna go to Revelation. Let's see. I want to go into Revelation. Well, I was gonna read 9. So, and also I want to say this too. This is why it's important that if you're a Hebrew Israelite, and you understand the word. This is why it's important that you get this, and believe and stay faithful, so you can be, saved from the upcoming destruction. Because the only people that's gonna make it are Israelites, and you got to be at the 144,000 and the 1/3, that great multitude, and that's it. Everything else is gonna be gone. And you know what? I'm close with that because my jaws hurt me. So, Lord will, this edifying lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash, Shalom.